Okay, so today we're going to talk about boundaries. One of the most difficult things for all of us, including myself, to do, but when done right, it brings beauty in a relationship. Period. In this video, I'm going to talk about the different types of boundaries, but subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next video, which is going to show you how to set boundaries or the stages of setting boundaries. So there are many different types of boundaries, which I suspect that you all know. We have personal boundaries, we have sexual boundaries, we have financial boundaries, we have intellectual boundaries. And I'm sure there are many other different boundaries, but I'm going to give you 5 different types of boundaries today and tell you what they may look like. So the first boundary that I'm going to talk to you about is personal boundary. We all have personal space. Some people call it a personal bubble. That is, don't stand too close to me, don't touch me, I don't like hugs, please don't kiss me, or don't be in my personal space, or be at your room, your office, or your home. That's a personal boundary. A lot of people don't have personal boundaries, and it causes them a lot of pain. This, most of the time, is something that you learn from a young age, right? Like, for instance, in grade 1, kindergarten, grade 1, we teach kids that it's okay for mom and dad to help you wash your body, but then we advise parents to allow the kids to wash their private part themselves. So they learn at a younger age that they have personal spaces that only they have power to dictate how they can be touched or used. Boundary number 2, financial boundary. This is a tough one. Financial boundary, especially for Black people or people of color, as they say, can be a very difficult one. But I've had to set those boundaries where we pay Black tax, and it's good. I'm not against Black tax 100%, but you have to have boundaries in paying your Black tax or helping family members. Like, for instance, I've had to tell a few cousins, a few family members, I don't want to be asked for money, or do not use my money. Or sometimes people even use your things that puts you financially in a very difficult place. So that's what it looks like. People asking you for money, or you not having a personal boundary for yourself by spending money on people when you take away from yourself, or taking away from your home and giving to people who just like, yeah, you have a good job, you're educated, or you live overseas, so you have money, give me money, right? So being able to say, I don't think so, or no, that's a financial boundary. And also in a relationship, financial boundary could be having a partner that spends more than you, right? Or more than taking away from the family, whether they gamble or they like to shop, or it's just happening. We're a family, and if you're trying to speak, like, yeah, you're speaking because you make more money, or blah 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 blah. I've had to set this one too, which is a time boundary. I've had people try to keep me on the phone for longer than I wanted to, so that's what a time boundary can look like. A friend, your grandmother, a friend, or somebody wanting to be on the phone with you over and over again for long periods of time, which is time that you don't have or you don't want to give. Sometimes I said to people no, because I'm drained, or I just need to take a little bit of self-care, so I say no. So time boundary is important to set your limit, because you don't, or answering phone calls. Sometimes you answer phone calls or texts from your siblings or your parents the whole day. You don't have your time boundary, so then you end up mismanaging your time. If you let this get away from you, it will get you in trouble. Like, if you don't know how to put a boundary on your time with work-related things, like your boss saying, okay, you've done this, they're giving you extra work, or Dumisang is not coming to work, cover her. No, I've worked from 8 to 5, I'm done. I don't have to cover anybody from 5 to 9, right? Or people wanting you to take your time to go do something with them that you frankly don't have time to do or that you cannot do. So that's a time boundary. The next boundary is conversational boundary. So conversational boundary is a little bit tricky. It's people asking you personal things that you're not ready or willing to answer. For instance, you can have a co-worker ask you personal things, or family members asking you intimate details about your relationship. When are you having a kid? No, it's none of your business. Or when are you getting married? Maybe I don't want to get married, but I don't have to answer that question. It's none of your business. How much do you make? It's none of your business. Those are conversational boundaries. People asking you personal questions that they really don't have any business asking those questions. Next one is intellectual boundaries. And this could also be professional boundaries. I've recently realized that a friend was using my professional knowledge and education excessively. Like, I would have made thousands of dollars if I had charged her for my advice, observations, and all those things that she got for free. And when I saw it, I thought, okay, maybe she doesn't know what she's doing, or maybe when it's my turn and I want intellectual, help, she will be considerate and remember how much I helped. Oh man, she freaked out. But it's okay. Then I had to set a boundary. She'll never get that much service from me ever again. I don't care what she does. But that's it. Sometimes you write things, you do things at work, or you give people services. They want it for free because they know you. And it's not tit for tat. I just thought this person was morally aware, because there's a person who's always talking about setting boundaries in their workspace or have been abused in their workspace, that she would have known that she's stepping into my workspace because she named it so much that, thank you because you're helping me because of this and this, and because of your knowledge for that. You have to set your boundaries, even if it's a friend. Don't think, okay, this person knows what they're doing, they're stepping on my intellectual professional boundaries, that I will set the boundary later, or they maybe when you do find it. Don't get me wrong, find it. I have people who say, hey, look at this for me, and they will also return the favor and use their intellectual abilities or professional abilities to return the favor. It's not always find people who are leeching, but you have to be clear or careful about setting that boundary. The next one is relationship boundaries. Okay, so relationship boundaries can look like knowing what works for you and knowing what doesn't work for you. Like, for instance, cheating. If you don't want to be cheated on, you say, hey, listen, you cheat on me, I'm done. Or mine is yelled at. I don't want to be yelled at. I might not leave you right away after you yell at me, but you will see that my investment in you will change. And money is one thing that really makes a lot of relationships go sour. We try to idealize the idea that, no two people can bring the same amount of money in the relationship, which is true. But when one person feels like the other person is not doing the best they could or that they can, then it creates a lot of problems in a relationship. So you have to have relationship boundaries. And this doesn't just go for love partners, it could also go for family members.